Hello, I'm Mandy Kaplan here with an important message. Throughout the modern era, millions, nay, billions of people have enjoyed countless hours of video games, stars, both Trek and Wars, comic books, and other nerdy endeavors. That's an infinite number of gasps and laughs as 20-sided dice are thrown, Pokemon are caught, and Doctor Who has done whatever the hell they do. Yet one person has missed out on all of this. One woman who doesn't know her droids from her hobbits has been left behind. Until now. That's right. I'm trading in my Taylor Swift and Housewives for superheroes and Wookiees as I finally embrace all things sci-fi and fantasy on my podcast, Make Me a Nerd, with Mandy Kaplan. Each week, a passionate guest will try to baptize me into the world of nerdery as they share one of these iconic entities that I have somehow missed. And you can help. For just $5 a month or $55 a year, you can become a member. For your generous donation, which is less than a new Tesla, you'll not only be supporting my mission, you'll get early access to episodes, bonus content, and more stuff I haven't thought of yet. So please, join me wherever you podcast as I finally learn what all the fuss has been about and see if going through this nerd-education will, in fact, make me a nerd. Or, as they say in Klingon, who am I kidding?
Before we dive in, here's another show you can enjoy in the True Story FM family of entertainment podcasts.
Ever wonder where the devil got his horns?
How about those cloven hooves?
Or that pitchfork?
Wasn't he an angel?
No, he was a snake.
No, he's the great red dragon.
No, he's the beast.
He's the prince of this world.
Prince of darkness.
Well, he's the prince of dark.
Good morning, star lovelies. One of my names is Lester Ryan Clark.
And I sometimes go by Keenan Diaz.
And we're the hosts of the brand new podcast, The Devil's Details. What comes to mind when I say Lucifer?
How about Satan?
What about just the devil? How did the big bad of the Western world end up with so many faces? Join us as we dig up, decipher, and deconstruct the devil's many forms throughout history.
Take a guided tour with Dante through the 9 circles of hell.
Or revisit Satan's angsty bad boy years in Paradise Lost.
Learn the ins and outs of a Faustian contract.
Easier than a 1099, but with a hell of a lot more fine print.
Slither on over to The Devil's Details on True Story FM and join us in the diabolic discussion.
Love and hisses. Mwah! Didn't Al Pacino play him in a movie?
Are you sure that wasn't Robert De
I
Niro?
could have sworn it was Tim Curry.
That was Elizabeth
Didn't
Hurley.
he go down to Georgia at some point?
Hey, movie lovers, I'm Pete Wright.
And I'm Andy Nelson. We are the hosts of the Next Reel Film Podcast.
If you're passionate about films like we are, you'll love our show. Each week, we dive deep into a movie, discussing everything from the story and performances to the cinematography and score.
Not to mention budgets and awards. We have covered iconic series like Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather trilogy, examining themes of power, family, and the dark side of the American dream.
We've explored the works of groundbreaking directors like Catherine Bigelow, discussing her mastery of tension.
We've looked at heist films, great car chases, great years in film, couples on the run, and more.
Our discussions go beyond the surface, examining what makes each film tick. We believe that when the movie ends, the conversation begins.
And we'd love for you to join that conversation. Find the Next Reel Film Podcast on your favorite podcast app or at thenextreel.com.
The Next Reel. When the movie ends,
our conversation begins.
Hooked on you, baby, you're golden. Time moves, I never noticed. Just can't get enough. Got me wonderstruck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Make Me a Nerd with Mandy Kaplan. I'm Mandy Kaplan. I'm a mainstream mom whose mission it is to explore all things nerd culture that I've been missing out on and, quite frankly, afraid of my whole life. I am thrilled to welcome back just an all-around fantastic, charming, hilarious, beautiful nerd. This is voice actor, queer activist, and snappy dresser. I had to say that due to his rider, JP Karliak, one of my very first guests, back and better than ever.
I am returning to further nerdify you.
Right? It barely hurts anymore.
I'm glad.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. What would be like the nerd lube that I would need for this process?
What? The first thing that I went to was Gak. Do you remember
What the
Gak?
hell is Gak?
Nickelodeon used to sell their slime.
Oh,
This was when we were kids. Yeah. And they had like Nickelodeon slime, which was the green one, and then they had Gak, which was like pink or yellow or blue, and it was like stretchy and
okay.
it was a thing. And then there was Floam, which was the worst, which was like
No,
that.
I loved Floam. That was when Casey was little.
Yeah.
Like the little balls, right? And they were like all
yeah.
attached and you could mush them
And
up.
you could listen to it crackle. Yeah.
But that was before I knew about ASMR. And now I'm addicted to ASMR. Are you familiar?
See, I'm
Well, that crackling noise now would be.
See that noise I think I would be okay with. I have
Is that your ride? You have to go?
Okay. They'll never take me alive. I have a little bit of dysphonia over like mouth noise ASMR.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's like I just turn into a zombie and I reach for an axe and I just want to,
Yeah. Yeah, I don't like the mouth noise. This is something I talked about on my old podcast, The Band Cave. I like when people whisper at me about my face.
Okay.
That's what it is. They want to let me rub your forehead. You look tense, and let me play with your hair. And I lay there in bed like, yes. And that helps me fall asleep. Right. I think, what if the gay lube was like Spider-Man's webs or something? Like,
I love that you just said the gay lube because
I meant the nerd
lube
lube.
Isn't gay.
Yeah. Oh, I meant nerd lube.
Yes. Is like Spider-Man's web fluid. Sure.
Right?
I mean, especially if you don't want to let somebody go,
Wow. This took a turn much faster than I thought.
I was going to ask you, because I couldn't remember at the top of the show, is like, is it okay? Like, this isn't PG, right? And then we've answered the question.
Fuck no. Well, you do have so many diversified nerd interests that it was hard for you. And I'm sorry I put you through that. When I said, what do you want to talk about? You were like, oh boy. There are a lot of options.
The list is long. Yeah.
And I'm looking behind you, as most of my guests have their swag and their merch on display in proud collections. What are some highlights over there? I see Mickey Mouse at the very top.
Yeah. So Mickey Mouse, that is the original. Well, not original. I mean, they probably made a stuffed Mickey during Fantastic, but that's the original, like, Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey Mouse from Disney World from like 92.
Okay.
Anyway,
I'll allow it.
Let's see. Just going down the shelves. So this is all just stuffed animals, some of which I had since I was a kid, some of which are fairly new. This is our wedding shelf. So from my wedding, Mandy was there, so she will remember. But we had two little avatars to celebrate our love. My husband's avatar is Dolly Parton, and mine is Skeletor. I think that says everything.
Yeah.
This shelf right here, this is basically memorabilia and shit from all of the stuff that I've been in. So like Boss Baby, X-Men, Dogs in Space. This is the Smurfs movie, Wile E. Coyote, some Skylanders stuff, Wizard of Oz. Like, yeah, just all in there.
Great.
And on this shelf, it's for every legacy character that I voiced, I get the corresponding Funko Pop. So these are all of the legacy characters I have voiced. And then this shelf is whatever's left.
Random crap. I have the Funko Pops.
Including a headshot from Nathan Lane. A signed headshot from Nathan Lane.
Of course. And I have the Funko Pops from the Golden Girls. So
exactly. Yeah. We all priorities.
Yes. But you mentioned X-Men because you are in fact a voice in the new X-Men animated series.
97, yeah.
And who do you voice? Now that I know the character names, or will I not know?
He's not in the movie. Sorry. My character is Morph, the shapeshifter, non-binary human, mutant, and all around hilarious and good guy. So yeah.
Oh, great! I'm glad you're a good guy. I wouldn't want
I know. I mean, I love a villain all day, every day,
Mhm.
but every once in a while, it's nice to just play the less complicated person.
Although I'm sure Morph sounds like there's some depth there. That's
There's
fantastic.
actually, it's
They've
like
got a lot going on.
Morph has a ridiculously tragic backstory, so there is that whole
Oy
like,
vey.
you know,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So you chose X-Men, and I, of course, was like, you mean the movie from 2000? Like, I don't even know what's going on with X-Men. But I had to use the Google,
hmm
and it was a comic book series starting in 1963, apparently.
hmm
Were you into the comics when you were growing up, or were you aware of X-Men
I
as a
was
kid?
not. We didn't really have like I shouldn't say we didn't have a local. Well, no, actually, we didn't have. I didn't have a local comic book shop, so I really didn't have like a bunch of friends that were like, "Oh, we're going to go get comics." Like,
Hmm.
I had zero awareness. So I was, for me, my all of my nerdery came from Saturday morning cartoons or after school cartoons, and when I would get home from school, I would turn on the TV to watch the Power Rangers, and I would see the end credits of the X-Men animated series. So I knew it was on, but I always missed it. And it wasn't
Okay.
until after I saw the movies that I was like, oh, okay, who were these people from that show? So
The
my entry
Power
point
Rangers.
was this movie.
You are much younger than I, my friend. You're saying Power Rangers. That was not from my childhood. So, and you just
Okay, but
referenced Nickelodeon earlier, and you're like, when we were kids, Nickelodeon did not exist when I was a kid. Back in my day.
well, I also was I was in middle school and into high school when I started watching Power Rangers. So
Okay.
I was a hair older
Yeah.
than the usual audience.
Of all of these superhero worlds that have been created through Marvel and DC and all of that, what draws you to the X-Men? What made you say, "Ooh, I want to talk about that"?
Well, I mean, aside from it's like I'm on the show. There's no. I think what I love about the X-Men. I'm a big MCU person. I would have talked to you about that if somebody didn't steal it from me before that. But what I think really differentiates the X-Men as opposed to like the Avengers or the Justice League or whatever is that the X-Men are outcasts. They are hated. They are human beings, think that they are lesser than, that they need to be eradicated, that they're dangerous, and yet they still fight for humanity. They still fight on behalf of the people that
To
hate them.
protect their oppressors,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, I wrote the first note I took was, "Oh dear God, swap out the word mutant with trans, and you've got Ron DeSantis." It's almost too close to home, and it was 25 years ago.
yeah. Oh, totally.
And yeah, and so I did a little research. Let's real air quote that. I Googled, but
hmm
there is a real connection for the queer community and the X-Men
Totally.
in feeling that compade, a kinship with this entity rather than Avengers.
Right. And I think, the as you mentioned, the comics started in the 60s, were originally born as a metaphor for the civil rights movement. Um, Charles Xavier, aka Patrick Stewart, is very much considered like the Martin Luther King Jr. Figure, while Magneto, aka Ian McKellen, is very much the Malcolm X. And they're different perspectives of handling this oppression. But yeah, as the series came into the 80s and 90s, and it really became co-opted by the queer community because not only is it a group of outcasts, but they wear colorful clothes. They have all sorts of crazy powers. Like, yeah, sure. It makes total sense.
There's a lot of Hugh Jackman without a shirt on. I mean, there are reasons.
Yeah, well, sure, certainly. And I mean, the movie was directed by Bryan Singer, who is questionable, but is also a gay person himself, and the writers
Yes.
were gay. So there is a lot of overtone in this movie for sure. Undertone,
Yes.
overtone, all of it.
There's tones. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it takes place initially once Hugh Jackman is brought to the school.
hmm
Once they enter the school, I got such similar vibes to, I hate to say Harry Potter because I don't like to bring up that author.
hmm
Wednesday. There are all of these entities where there's like schools for misfits. or right.
Mm-hmm.
And I just think that that's such a great construct to get a bunch of people together who would, out in the world not be around each other or not find each other. So you start a little school and you've got a great background for all of these stories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, isn't that the dream for any of us that went to an arts camp? Like, I mean, like
I
it just,
think we should just talk about all the musicals we did growing up, and that'll be the podcast.
yeah, let's just forget everything else. Yeah. Yeah. Just those little formative places it's literally creating safe spaces for a particular community, whether real or metaphorical. And yeah, I think so. There's so many people, regardless of whether it's sexuality or race or class or or just being a nerd or weird or whatever, that just identifies with that, needing that safe space community.
Yeah, and it makes you immediately drop in and root for and feel like you're one of, rather than observing them. You're just part of this gang in this school environment, which I really loved.
Totally.
I don't want to get controversial. We've already covered civil rights and gay rights, and but the bigger topic, I think, is, are you a Hugh Jackman or a James Marsden fan? Like, who would you rather cuddle with on a Sunday morning with your New York Times crossword puzzle and some coffee?
That's so tricky, because there's if we're gonna fuck, marry, kill this, like
Yeah.
there's
I didn't know if that was appropriate, but that's what I'm talking about.
yeah. Well, wait, who's our third?
You don't even need one.
Yeah.
Are you gonna? Which one? Like, I'm putting a gun to your head. You can only have one.
I mean, for me, it's Hugh Jackman.
Uh-huh.
And I think because, and a lot of this comes from my perception now that I know the broader universe and I know what the character is. Like, Cyclops in my series that I'm in, he's amazing. He's a great leader. He's so take charge. He's incredible. And like, from that perspective, him all day, every day. But I feel like Bryan Singer and the writers or whatever, they just hate Cyclops, and they just make him look to be such like a Boy Scout. And
well, I think in a way he's like he feels like a typical D-bag in an 80s movie a bit,
Totally. The
like
guy
that
from the
stereotype.
Goonies, like Goonies. Yeah.
Yeah. However, I am James Marsden all day, every day. I love
him as an actor.
No, but
yes,
but like if I had to pick one of these guys I would F and marry James Marsden. I wouldn't necessarily kill Hugh Jackman. I love Hugh Jackman, but
sure.
Am I?
You like him more when he's doing Music Man.
Well, I hate Music Man. Fun fact about me, but
really?
Greatest Showman. Yeah. Yeah, I love James Marsden. Didn't really know he was in this movie, and when he appeared, I was like, oh, okay, now I'm into it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in the action. The opening of the movie was fantastic. It was very dark. We meet Rogue in her life, and she kisses the boy. And
well, I wanted to ask you, like, when the movie really, like, right at the beginning opens, and you saw a concentration camp, were you like, oh, I didn't think I was signing up for this today?
No, because I actually embraced it. I had just seen Captain America for the first time about a month ago for the podcast.
Oh,
I really loved Captain America, and I wrote, we're in Poland, 1944, having these historical starts like Captain America, and a comic book I read, Superman Smashes the Klan, for this podcast. I really enjoy when they roll in historical reality with the fiction, and then it gives it the stakes just go through the roof for me. So it connected to real issues and real pain, and I like that. However, who was that? Was that Wolverine that his mom was torn away?
No, that's Magneto.
Oh, that's Magneto. Okay, I was a little confused halfway through the movie. I was like, wait a minute, we were in Poland.
They don't do a great job of showing the magnetic power thing as much, like him pulling the fence.
Oh, the
like
gates.
it's
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, that's who it was, which gives him the whole, like, oh, that's why you're this way. Sure, makes total sense.
Chip on his shoulder now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, okay, I'm glad you brought up Magneto because I want to ask about his light show. They kidnapped Bruce Davison, who was perfection in this movie,
Totally.
and the senator, the Ron DeSantis, essentially.
Yep.
And he does this whole light show, and it's so elaborate, right? Magneto is like in a spinny thing, and there's just all these lights everywhere, and then it's like next day, and I wrote, what the hell was that all about? That was him making Bruce Davison a mutant?
Yep.
Okay. And I think that became clear a couple of scenes later, but at that moment, they just ended, and Bruce Davison was like, what was that all about?
Totally.
And so I was so confused by the light show.
It is a little vague, and it isn't until you see him like squeeze through the bars that it's like, oh, that happened to you. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's this bit of I'm not going to say it's convoluted, but there's an odd burn in the way that they unravel Magneto's plot throughout the movie, especially once they get to like, how does Rogue fit into this thing and why the Statue of, then it unfurls, but it takes a minute.
Again, like I always say, I've learned to pull out and have fun and not worry about,
right. Yeah.
Like,
try to logically understand. Yeah.
My brain don't work that way. But you brought up Rogue. Now, I truly don't mean to offend or be negative, but I didn't like Anna Paquin. I thought she was pretty bad in this movie. Oh
my God. No, it's funny you bring this up because, again, coming to the movie first and then the series second and understanding, like, I remembered when the movie first came out and there was such backlash to her casting. And I was like, I wonder why. What's all that about? Well, a lot of it just had to do with that Rogue from the series and from the books. She wasn't a kid as compared to everybody else. She was like the same age as Jean and Scott, and she had that sort of sass, and she was like, "Hey!" She walked into every room being like, "Hey, sugar!" Like she was sort of like the bombast and like the flashiness of the group, and to have somebody like Anna be so meek and sort of I know Bryan Singer once said that she was kind of like the audience's window into this world of odd,
our connecting character.
Yeah, but at the same time, it feels like she's just not a strong enough character to pull us in. We're actually more interested in, once she's with Wolverine, then it's like, we'll follow him because he seems more fish out of water in this space. So we'll go on that journey. She's just sort of an afterthought.
And I think she's a good actress. I've liked her before and since.
Totally.
But I found her to be very self-conscious and posing and trying to look pretty all the time.
And I think that's partially, I really think that has a huge part to do with Bryan Singer as a director. Just reading like some of the stuff about, so they weren't in this movie, but Elliot Page is in the sequel.
Okay.
And at the time, presented female and talked about like just how much he was made to feel shame about how much he weighed and just like the way he fit into the costume and how, and all the perception and everything about being one of, even though it's a gay guy who's directing it, he was so fixated on like the ideal feminine form for superheroes.
Right.
And I think Famke Janssen, certainly Halle Berry, who hated every wig that they put on her. Her hair is terrible in this movie.
Well, she was very wooden, and I didn't know if that was a character choice for Storm. That was another question I had.
I think she was directed into that. Like,
okay. Because I mean, she's a phenomenal actress.
Totally.
So I gave her the credit of like, she's making a choice to be wooden, and I wonder why. And I didn't give Anna Paquin that same grace. I was like, she's just terrible and self-conscious. So I don't know what that is, but
I feel like it suffers from similar issues. I don't know if you've done this yet, but like if you've watched the Star Wars prequels.
Which ones are the prequels? I did Rogue One.
Oh, okay. The ones that have Natalie Portman.
Oh, no. I've been told those don't exist.
Yeah.
My husband firmly believes that those never happened.
Well, that's the thing about them is that, you know, some people are like, oh, Natalie's terrible. Oh, Hayden's terrible. Like, this all terrible. It's like, it's not so much that they're terrible. It's more has to do with just like the very micromanagey approach of direction that George Lucas had on this and making them more, you know, wooden and staid and stuff like that. It's a miracle that Ewan McGregor manages to kind of like punch through it and feel sort of brilliant. But I think that's a similar case in this movie where, you know, Patrick and Ian are just doing their Royal Shakespeare Academy thing, and they will not be told anything but then, you know, a lot of the maybe newer, younger, less experienced actors are just getting barraged with notes that just dull their performances when we've seen them in other things that we know they're brilliant at.
Right. Now, you're using a lot of first names. Do you know all these people, like, personally? Or
of course. We're on a text chain. Do you not know Ian and Patrick?
No, I'm curious. Like, I was
No,
scared.
I don't know anybody in this.
Okay. I was scared.
Don't know anybody in this movie.
If I forgot to say sir, that I might offend.
Oh,
because
sure.
isn't Patrick Stewart
Both
knighted
of them
now?
are.
Right.
Yeah.
So I in all my notes, I was like, Sir Patrick Stewart, Sir
Right.
Ian McKellen, because
Correct.
I was like, I don't want to offend. They are so wonderful. And so, I mean, you're in good hands. You're safe. They're enjoyable. They're just doing what they're supposed to be doing at every turn. However, when you have two actors who vocally sound quite similar and you have them speaking telepathically, it doesn't work, JP. I was like, which one was that? Who was saying that? Who was thinking that? Is that... You're smiling devilishly.
No, I'm smiling because that's a very fair assessment. Yeah, that's true.
Like, you know, and I'm a newbie. So I don't have any sense of cadence or, you know, oh, that's definitely something Magneto would say. I don't know that.
Right.
So you have these two actors looking at each other with their voices talking. And I was like, oh, come on. Are you kidding me? So.
Yeah. And it's funny you bring that up because in most of the other iterations, whether it's the cartoon or so there's a prequel series that comes out with James McAvoy as Charles and Michael Fassbender as Magneto, and their voices have a nice counterpoint to each other that you definitely recognize them. But yeah, in this case, it's two very medium tone British men.
Yes, yeah. So that was a funny. I don't know. I guess I'm thrilled that I haven't said something yet where you're like, no, Mandy, that's not true. I'm feel like I'm scoring points.
Yeah. And I think part of it is like, I'm bringing this piece to you, not as like, I am a diehard X-Men 2000 movies fan. I'm a diehard X-Men fan.
Right.
But I also understand that each iteration has its pros and cons. I think the second movie is actually the better.
Oh.
Yeah. But this movie is important. It's incredible. It after the absolute failure of the fourth Batman movie with which one was that? George Clooney. Yeah. Superheroes movies were on the skids and like you know, it wasn't clear what would happen after that. And then X-Men came along, reinvigorated it, then Spider-Man, and then all of a sudden like I don't think we've seen a year without a superhero movie.
So was this before Iron Man, the first Marvel? This was before that. Oh, okay. I want to talk about Rebecca Romaine.
Okay.
Or Stamos in this
back
film,
then.
but not now. It's interesting that she's in Strange New World, the new Star Trek series.
I didn't know that.
Yes, and she's in this. So you take one of the most classically beautiful women in the world who would be sitting at the Mean Girls table in high school. And now she's a nerd icon. Like she has entered this world so seamlessly. And I read it took her 9 hours to become Mystique. What a trooper. And is she naked? Like, is that?
Pretty much. I mean, there's like the scales like that give the texture to her skin. So they're basically elaborate pasties in certain areas. But otherwise, yeah, she's very nude.
I mean, God love her.
And I forgot to, like, of course, the quintessential one I should have mentioned when talking about like the objectification of the female figure. Like, they really wanted to go hard at, because in the comic, like Mystique does have an outfit. She does have clothing she wears.
Oh,
but
well, I mean, I admired it. I thought it was fun and crazy
totally.
and out there and sexy. I really, really liked it. Does she get to speak more in future films? She's in future films, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And does she become a good guy? I was shocked Mystique was a bad guy because she seems so like who you picture on the poster when you think of X-Men to me. Wolverine and her.
Yeah. I mean, classically, she's been somebody who flips sides. Like, Mystique is very much the Catwoman character. Like, is she good? Is she bad? Who knows? But she's sexy. Like,
Yeah. I dug it. I dug the way, the first time somebody revealed itself to be her. And I was like, oh, okay, she can become other people. Like, I dug all of that. And I thought it was all done dramatically really well. It's fun.
Oh, yeah. No, she's a very fun character.
And the tongue guy whose name is Toad, he is so well cast because his face bothered me so much, whether he was doing the tongue or just laughing or just glaring at someone. He had a really expressive, annoying face. And I looked him up and he doesn't work a ton.
No, he's a stunt guy, first and foremost.
Okay.
And he's best known, which is the reason that he got this movie to be, no, wait a minute. Or is it the other way around? No. He was in the first Star Wars movie, the episode 1 Star Wars movie is what I mean to say, as like the lead villain, which had a lot of like acrobatic stunt stuff, like, yeah. And that's sort of what was his calling card. And then he gets this role, which is just so
off-putting. We're both making the same face because we are on a podcast, so I'm going to narrate that we're both making like we ate.
I will say, and keep talking, discuss amongst yourselves while I'm doing this, but I do want to pull up a comic accurate photo of Toad because if you think he's unsettling, you'll be like, oh God.
Well, he was very unsettling, but in a great way. That, I mean, he's supposed to be, right? He's a villain and he's evil and he's violent. And so I dug him. I didn't write his name down because I didn't dig him that much. But
sure.
I thought he was perfectly cast and so gross. Okay, I'm looking at. Oh, well, that doesn't look like him.
He looks like a B character from that old cartoon strip, Prince Valiant. Like, just.
Yeah. Well, that Toad looks like he swallowed this Toad.
Yeah.
I mean,
this
guy looks like a Toad, like his. Yeah.
Yeah, the green. Yeah.
A lot of this movie takes place in the final battle at the Statue of Liberty, which I didn't understand, but I didn't care because what a fun setting for a final epic battle between good and evil.
Right.
I just thought that was a fun twist. But do you have an understanding of why it was at the Statue of Liberty? They were having some event on the lawn.
So I think it's not so much that Magneto has an affinity for drama, for starters.
Yes.
And I think the location, because it was right there, he would get an opportunity to turn all of the world's ambassadors and leaders into mutants. And then who would say that they need to, if the most powerful become the outcast, then they're no longer the outcast, right?
Right.
So I think, as is typical in terrorism, it's partially about the effect, which is, changing these people, but it's also about the optics of destroying, this national symbol of the country and humanity and using it to become a beacon of mutant energy. You know, it has all that symbolism and crap.
Yeah, I loved it. It it reminded me weirdly, this is a deep cut. There's a really cute movie with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston called Murder Mystery. And it's
I
cute.
think I've heard of that.
But the second one is so funny. It's great. And they did a final battle on the Eiffel Tower. So people were falling off the Eiffel Tower and hanging and climbing. And it was so much fun to take something so familiar and revered and blow it up and destroy it. And, you know, it was really...
Hey, if you want to have fun with the Statue of Liberty, then you need to bring me back for a Ghostbusters episode.
Oh, okay. I mean, it's funny because Ghostbusters, I liked Ghostbusters as a kid. So I don't think of it as like, you know, make me a nerd, make me love Ghostbusters. Yeah. But we could nerd out about it together. It doesn't have to be that I'm clueless all the time.
Because the first movie is a classic, but the second movie is just camp-tastic ridiculousness.
Oh, okay.
And it's my favorite. Yeah.
All right. I'm going to put that on your list. You think I'm kidding, but I'll forget. And then I'll think, somebody I know told me they wanted to do Ghostbusters and I don't remember who. And now we know it's you. I don't remember the second one. I don't know if I ever saw it. So there's so much fighting at the end of this movie, as there are in all of these movies. I saw Thunderbolts and
Did you?
I did. I saw it to be on a Next Reel podcast, the film board. And then I'm having another episode about Thunderbolts because I'm like, well, I saw it. I might as well talk about it with somebody who loved it and knows about the MCU.
Sure.
But I do have this feeling when I watch all of these movies, like, or some of them, great movie, great storytelling, loved it. Why does there have to be so much fighting? Like, I don't love the fighting. But in this one, it often feels like two characters are about to kiss. In these fight sequences, there's always those moments where their faces are so close. I'm physically demonstrating with my hands. Why is that? Is there a sexuality to these things?
Well, for Brian, if it's a Bryan Singer film, then absolutely. Like, I think his whole ethos is like, you know, everything needs to look like they're fucking.
Okay.
So, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And also, I will say, not to just totally, you know, shit on him, but it is sort of a pedigree of not just comic books, but specifically this comic. I mean, it's pretty sexually charged. Like it has that vibe. You know, whether it's the vibe between Jean and Scott, or Jean and Wolverine, or or Storm and Bishop, or whatever. Like, it's always like something, you know.
What? Okay, Scott and Jean are an actual couple.
Yes.
Now, does that last, or at some point does she get with Wolverine? Because I saw, you know, obviously there's a flirtation there. There's a chemistry
in the movies.
I'm not limiting you.
Yeah, because in the movies, no. Sorry, spoiler.
Okay.
In the comics, I feel like it's happened at some point. It might have been a multiverse type of thing. I don't know, but there is a point where, so Jean at some point becomes this galactically powered, malevolent force known as the Dark Phoenix.
Okay.
It's an insane thing. But because she becomes that, she and Scott kind of split up.
I would hope so.
Yeah, and he ends up running off with this character called the White Queen, Emma Frost, whose superpower is being able to turn her skin into diamonds, so she's diamond hard, like, you know, impenetrable.
Oh.
And she, speaking of mean girls sitting at the table, she is the one. She is the Regina George.
Okay, who plays her?
In the movie, she's played by January Jones.
Ooh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Betty Draper herself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, It do they get more diverse as these movies kept coming out? Because I liked that Halle Berry, I'm assuming a comic book in 1963, Storm was not a person of color.
She totally was.
Oh, she was.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you were saying it was an allegory for the civil rights movement, but she was the only person of color.
Right. There was
If you don't count Mystique being blue.
Actually, let me take this back. The original X-Men, so the original lineup of the X-Men was Cyclops, Beast, who's not in this, but
Okay.
he's basically a big blue beast man who's played by Kelsey Grammer in later editions. Angel, also not in this movie. Just a guy with wings that flies around. And Iceman, who is briefly seen in this movie, Bobby Drake. He's one of the students. Played by Sean Ashmore, I think is his name.
Yeah. And then there's two of him, and he tells her to quit the school and leave. Yeah.
Yeah. That was the original lineup. All white, all kind of look like the Fantastic Four, know. And it wasn't really until the 90s when this lineup of X-Men that we know as the modern X-Men rolled out, including Storm.
Has there been any talk about calling them the X people or just like Group X?
I say that all the time.
They're not men.
Yeah, like I say that I'm an X them. Thank you very much.
Yes, exactly. Let's be inclusive.
I know. But I don't know.
Too much to ask.
That might be a losing argument, but I it's definitely one that I've heard before.
Yeah. Well, when they're in the battle in the Statue of Liberty and they're not kissing, at one point Rogue dies, like the typical Beauty and the Beast ending where she's gone. And I was thinking, I'm like, oh, thank God, she's done. We don't have to deal with her anymore. But she comes back with a
white streak in her hair.
Very pretty white streak in her hair. Yeah. It is so disheartening to hear about, I know Bryan Singer's reputation, but to hear that the women were suffering from his expectations or demands or misogyny. It's just so disheartening because I see a superhero movie from 25 years ago where women are badass and capable and main characters with their own goals. That's cool. But to know that it was something else behind the scenes is upsetting.
Yeah. Although, to be fair, because it was him, the men were, while the women were facing the pressure of body shaming and idealism and all of that, the men were facing really similar things, and also the ogling and the it's not it wasn't great for anybody really. And I'm actually surprised that people kept coming back, like that. They had 3 movies worth of this. Oh, although I will say Bryan Singer was fired after the second one. So
okay.
In favor of Brett Ratner.
Wow.
Yeah, we've come a long way, baby.
I hope. The movie ends and it's a clear setup for future installments, which is a very common thing. I saw, you ready for this? Craven. I'm the one.
Did somebody make you do this?
Yes.
Who was that person?
They didn't end up being able to do the podcast. So I saw it.
For nothing?
For nothing. But
I'm so sorry.
These all end up setting up, like, stay tuned for further adventures.
Mm-hmm.
Does that backfire sometimes? I'm assuming Craven is not getting a sequel, and Madam Web and some of these things that were so hated.
Well, it's even the case. I'm not going to say backfires is I guess a good word. Because even in the MCU, which is still chugging along and still going, there have been so many breadcrumbs that they've dropped in these mid-credit scenes or end-credit scenes of like, "Ooh, this is happening." And I mean, for the past 15 movies, I'd say they set up something that has yet to be paid off in any meaningful way, if at all.
Really?
Like there was a movie that set up that, like, literally at the end of the credits, you see Harry Styles in a cape.
Okay.
And it's just like, Harry Styles is going to do a Marvel
Who
movie?
doesn't want that?
God. Nope.
No. Wow.
Yeah.
It's like at the end of Arrested Developments, right? Are you an Arrested Development fan? And they would always do like coming up, and it was never real. There was just to get the joke, just to get the
bloopers. Yeah. Or just gags.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm so interested. I would think that they would feel beholden to their fans to deliver.
I mean, but a lot of it has to do with that they put out something, and then when it fizzles, then it's like, well, if that fizzled, then this thing that we set up is also going to fizzle. So never mind, but you've set it up, so you can't really take it back.
Right.
I just always think of, when I was a kid, my favorite thing, as you know, Skeletor, hello, was Masters of the Universe. And the movie with celebrated actor Frank Langella as Skeletor. I know. The end credit sequence after he fell into a pit, seemingly destroyed, like, is him coming out of this water and literally just saying, "I'll be back."
And he wasn't back.
Well, the movie tanked, so...
Oh. Who played He-Man?
Dolph Lundgren.
Of course he did.
Mm-hmm.
Bless his heart.
And Courtney Cox was in it, too. It was her first movie role.
For real?
For real.
Wow. This has been very enlightening.
I do what I can.
So where does this rank for you in the MCU? And did you see Thunderbolts is a follow-up question. But
so the X-Men movies technically are not part of the MCU. Because the MCU starts with Iron Man and then everything after that.
Oh.
So where
separate. Does this rank for you in your love of superhero movies?
I mean, I'd say it's very mid.
Oh.
It's a good movie. I enjoy it. And I also recognize it for like how it kickstarted superhero movies and started a whole generation of them. But as far as, and it's a very cohesive story. I mean, like it's pretty easy to follow. The characters are fun. The actors are great. But I do think the second movie is so superior that one ranks way higher for me than this. But the setup that this provides, it's good. It's very good.
Okay. And does it get really dark? I feel like when I saw trailers for a movie called Logan, those are darker films, right? They're not as...
Well, Logan is the darkest of the group. So, yeah. But some of them are lighter. Like, for instance, the prequel movie, which is called X-Men First Class, takes place in the 60s when, like, Charles and Magneto were young and just getting to know each other and starting out. And it has a very sort of like Connery era James Bond sort of schwankiness to it. Like it's cool, it's hip.
You're dancing like Austin Powers. That's
like it's got that sort of like, that vibe that makes it really fun and light. But then there are additions like Logan, especially, that is just a serious drama.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So that's different to take a superhero franchise and go in different directions like that. Are there others that have done stuff like that? I mean, I guess Spider-Verse, like with the animated, that's different than the tone of like the Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans.
Right. Yeah, sure. I mean, like the MCU does try to, I mean, let's say the Captain America movies are a great example. Like that first one that you saw, it was directed by the guy who directed The Rocketeer, which is just the most like cheek pinching, adorable Disney-ana movie. Like, the sequel, Winter Soldier, which takes place present day, is very like Tom Cruise spy movie, like, very, what's the government up to sort of clandestine operations. And then the third movie, Captain America Civil War, is really just a all-out brawl between all of the Avengers against each other. So they all take very different tones.
Okay, so I'm not onto something. Pete, edit out everything I just said. No, I'm just kidding. When is the musical though? Like, they have not attempted a musical Avengers or MCU, right? They have.
So, kind of. There is a there's a Hawkeye series. Also one of the MCU guys.
Jeremy Renner, right?
Jeremy Renner, yes.
Okay.
Where he goes to see the Captain America musical.
Okay.
And then there's a segment, and I think Adam, oh no,
Lambert,
the original Roger from
Pascal,
Renner, Adam Pascal. He's
What do I
in the
win?
number.
Okay.
And the poster looks like Hamilton, but it's Captain America, like in the silhouette on the star, like, and the opening number is all about like the Battle of New York, and it's like, you know, really high energy and everything.
The Battle of New York.
Yeah, and it was written by the Frozen team, Bobby and
the Lopez's.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
okay.
I mean, there technically is, and they used that musical to build out the show that was in Disneyland. They had like when they replaced Aladdin, they replaced it with the Captain America musical for a limited time. So
Look at you with your fun facts.
Sort of a little musical.
Well, that's all my brilliant observations. It was a fun movie.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. So thank you. I would never have watched it and known I would enjoy it. And I did.
I'm so glad.
Yeah. I'm going to tell everybody where they can support my podcast and do all my business. You're going to tell people where they can find you. And then for members only, we're going to talk about this new Smurfs movie that you are starring in. I mean, not just, I got a little part and I got to do a day or two. This is exciting stuff. So if anybody out there is thinking, well, I want to hear JP talk about making the Smurfs movie, you have to become a member. How do you do that? You go to makemeanerd.com/join, hit that join button. You're going to get access to these secret interviews. You'll get your episodes ad-free and early. So please do that. It helps to keep the lights on and keep this whole journey going. This journey, Make Me a Nerd, is a production of True Story FM, engineering and production, and my overall hero is Pete Wright. My theme song is Wonderstruck by Jane and the Boy. You can reach out on socials at Mandy_Kaplan_Clavens on Instagram, or at Mandy Miscast on Blue Sky. Look at me, I'm so fancy on Blue Sky. And if you're listening to this on Apple, please give it a 5-star review and write what you want to hear next. Write what you think of the show. That helps more people see it. And it helps me on this journey. Helps me to keep this journey alive. Okay, enough about me. JP, where can everybody find you? Plug away.
You can find me at my website, jpkarliak.com, or on Instagram or Blue Sky at JP Karliak. Instagram's probably your best bet. I'm barely on Blue Sky at all.
Well, someone told me, a guest of mine, Audrey Kearns, the geek girl authority herself, told me that's where people are moving, but it's slow going.
Well, and also I was, Blue Sky is very much a Twitter-esque format, and I was barely active on Twitter, ever. So, I like pictures. I like images and videos.
Yeah. Okay, so, and then they can hear you as Morph on X-Men 97.
Yeah, sure can.
All right. Thank you. Thank you all for listening. And members, stick around. We'll see you on the other side.